Welcome back to the first year organic chemistry. We were studying the estimation of nitrogen. In the previous video, we have seen estimation of nitrogen by Dumas method. Now let us consider this second method, Zeldal's method. Zeldal's method. So this is a simplest method for the estimation of the nitrogen, but it has certain limitations. If the nitrogen, as I told you in the previous video, if nitrogen is present as an azo group or nitro compound, or if it is a heterocyclic compound like pyridine, piperidine, pyrrole, etc., then such a nitrogen cannot be estimated by Zeldal's method. That's why the most useful method for the estimation of the nitrogen is the Dumas method. Now in this Zeldal's method, the principle is a known mass of organic compound. A known mass of organic compound is digested. Remember this word digested. It is actually a process of heating only. I'll tell you till what we have to heat. Is digested with concentrated H2SO4 and potassium sulfate and copper. This concentrated sulfuric acid will react with this nitrogen present in the organic compound. Potassium sulfate will decrease the boiling point of concentrated H2SO4. In absence of the potassium sulfate, H2SO4 will have a higher boiling point. That's why this K2SO4 is added to reduce the boiling point. Copper will increase the speed of conversion of the nitrogen in the organic compound to ammonium sulfate. So K2SO4 will reduce the boiling point of H2SO4, and copper will catalyze the conversion of nitrogen to ammonium sulfate. So this word digested I have used. Actually we have to take a long necked tube called as the Zeldal's tube or Zeldal's flask. So this is all done. All this is carried out in a flask of long neck called Zeldal's flask. So we have to consider this one. Assume that this is the Zeldal's flask. It is having a long neck, having a bulb with the bottom like this. We have to take the known mass of organic compound. This is Zeldal's flask. Along with this concentrated H2SO4 plus potassium sulfate plus some copper turnings. Now we have to keep a funnel at the mouth so that whatever the sulfuric acid that is actually evaporated will not come out of the flask. It will remain in the flask. What we observe is when we start heating, slowly the solution inside will become black during the formation of some intermediate compounds. So we will get first the black solution. Once all the nitrogen is converted to ammonium sulfate, the solution will become clear, that is colorless. So till then we have to heat this flask along with this sulfuric acid, potassium sulfate and copper, the organic compound is heated in the Zeldal's flask. So the reactions involved are nitrogen in the organic compound plus H2SO4 will give rise to ammonium sulfate, NH4 twice SO4. Once the solution is clear in the Zeldal's flask, this is actually the process called as the digestion. What we have to do is, this whole solution is to be transferred to a distillation flask, which is actually airtight. So, the solution is then heated with excess of sodium hydroxide solution, ammonia liberated is absorbed in a standard acid solution of known volume. Say for example, this acid may be either hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid, but its concentration must be known. That's why it is called as the standard. Say for example, the concentration of this solution is m molar. Then volume of this acid taken is V. Let us say V1. Then whatever the ammonia that is liberated will be absorbed by this acid. Again it is converted to either ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate. If you are using hydrochloric acid, this ammonia will react with HCl to give ammonium chloride. If you use sulfuric acid, ammonia will react with sulfuric acid to give ammonium sulfate. Once again, the solution that is ammonia liberated is absorbed in a standard acid solution of known volume. Next one is the unused acid is estimated by titrating against standard NaOH. So here we are using excess of the solution. Some amount of acid is used by the ammonia for forming the ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate. Some more amount of acid will remain in excess. This amount of acid remaining in excess is estimated by titrating the solution with NaOH solution. This is actually called as the back titration. This is called back titration. Back titration. From this volume of acid used can be calculated. Say for example, you are using HCl. Say we are using 100 ml of one normal HCl. Some amount of ammonia is using this HCl for the formation of the salt. Assume that it is about 80 ml that is used for the forming the salt. 20 ml of the acid will remain unused. That is estimated by using this with the standard sodium hydroxide. From that, volume of acid used can be calculated by knowing this unused acid as well as volume of the acid taken. If you are using V1 ml of the acid, V2 ml of acid is remaining unused. That is estimated by using this NaOH solution. Then V1 minus V2 will be the volume of acid that is used, that can be calculated. From this, we can calculate the percentage of nitrogen is equal to 1.4 divided by 1.4 into MVB divided by mass of organic compound taken. Mass of organic compound taken. Here M, V and B are molarity, volume and basicity of the acid used. Remember, M stands for the molarity of the acid that is used. Suppose it is HCl, molarity, normality will be same and basicity will be 1. If you are using sulfuric acid, then molarity you have to determine, basicity will be 2 for that sulfuric acid. Then V is volume of the acid that is used. I told you, volume of the acid used can be calculated. This volume we are using in this equation. So 1.4 into MVB divided by mass of organic compound. This will give rise to the percentage of nitrogen present in the organic compound. So once this generalized solution is obtained, this is transferred to a standard distillation flask, airtight distillation flask. Then it is heated strongly with excess of NaOH. Ammonia is liberated. This ammonia is absorbed in a known volume of standard acid. From the volume of the acid consumed by the ammonia, we can calculate the percentage of nitrogen. So this ammonium sulfate produced is heated with sodium hydroxide solution, NaOH. It will give rise to Na2SO4 plus water plus 2 ammonia. So it is to balance this one, 2 H2O we have to use. Then this ammonia is absorbed in HCl. It will give rise to ammonium chloride. From this acid volume used by the ammonia, we can calculate the percentage of nitrogen. So this is about the estimation of the nitrogen by Zeldahl's method. I told you, most advantageous is Dumas method because nitrogen in the form of nitro group, azo group, etc., as well as the heterocyclic ring compounds, they can be estimated by the Dumas method. But Zeldahl's method is an easiest method. We have to digest, then go for the estimation. But it cannot be used for such compounds. Azo compounds, nitro compounds, ring compounds contain the nitrogen as the part of the ring. But still it is an easiest method available. So in the next video, we will see the estimation of the other elements like sulfur and halocene. Thank you.